So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the official launch of the very first Elevationspark panel. I'm excited. Okay, so we have Zafria. Zafria, say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Taylor.
Hello.
We have Dorokas.
Hi.
And we have
Hello.
Apuwe.
Hi.
So, how are you guys all doing this morning?
I'm good. Just kind of woke up, so.
Okay, so to start off, my first question for you guys is, what changes do you think we need to make within the fashion industry to allow for collaboration in order to get women in positions of power in the workplace? Do you want to start, Terokas?
I think that, well, collaboration is a good thing, but then I think we have to educate women to stop trying to compete with each other and even men also, because as soon as competition comes in, then everybody do not want to share information. Everybody wants to keep everything to themselves, which will then not allow people to go forward. But if we all communicating and not competing, we're all confident within ourselves that we are capable of doing, and we are not afraid of sharing our information and afraid of someone stealing our idea, then I think we'll be fine. Yeah.
Okay, anyone want to add on that?
I will.
Okay.
They obviously you're going to have competition, and you have your brands, and you're always going to have that, but it's with healthy competition. Like Daroka said, there's people who don't want to help one another, the next person, who don't want to share, and that's the problem. We need to break away from that and help one another. And I think that's where it needs to start, by helping one another.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taylor, do you want to say something?
I agree with Zafira, but it also comes down to where the people have positions of power. So, for example, someone that's in the industry could help me or try to build me as an individual up. So, if I have access to certain tools, it's about coming down to support and how we can lift each other up. But it's not only women; it's everyone in general within the fashion industry, in my opinion.
Yes.
Support each other, because at the end of the day, competition is healthy, but how else are we supposed to build up a community if we are not feeding on from each other? So
yeah, I think there's a difference between competition and toxic energy. It's important to differentiate between the two. Apiwe?
I also agree with the competition and people wanting to be in power, full power. Everyone wants to be in power, and then therefore we cannot help each other because we feel okay, if I help this person, they might be more, they can do more than I can, and that becomes a problem, which is it's not even a problem. Helping the other person can also inspire you when you are uplifting another person. And we need to understand that sometimes it's really about seeing what the other people can do and then helping them, and then you can get helped in the process as well. And I feel like we really should look into that, helping one another.
Okay, so the next question I like to ask you guys. Sorry, my words are a bit funky. The next question I want to ask you guys is about plus size women in the fashion industry. Do you think at this stage inclusivity is a thing that's prevalent, or do you think there's still changes that need to be made?
I think it's really progressing into that direction of being inclusive of people. I don't think fast enough. Maybe it's also just our South African legal environment, but there is definitely a shift towards it.
Yeah. No, I have to agree, and I always thought it was never supposed to be even a thing. dressing women and human being is a priority. Now, if we had to be like, no, only dressing the
Yes.
skinny girls and then the big girls, now it becomes like a trend. That shouldn't be a thing in the first place. But I'm glad that that Munch is busy shifting, even though I think it's going very slowly. It could have been faster, and it shouldn't be like a topic even. Yeah,
Okay.
but I think we're getting there.
And also in the mainstream, it's not really a big thing. They haven't really
Yeah.
like came to that thing that okay, no, we need to include, and we need to, I don't know how to put it, but then we can see it in like upcoming designers that they are doing that, but then the big designers, like the well-known designers, they haven't really conformed to it, and yeah, we need to change that as well.
Do you think that the social media and social marketing and the social presence has a big influence over that?
Can I answer that?
Yes.
Because I'm a plus size woman, I can say that social media has taken that shift. Because if you've on Instagram, I'm sure everybody has an Instagram profile, you will see that there are a lot of plus size models and there are a lot of brands, but not the, like Api was saying, not the bigger brands, the upcoming brands who are including plus size women. Whereas the bigger brands like Gucci and things like that, you won't see them. It's very, they won't market it, but it will be there. And I think that shift needs to happen where inclusivity has to be where you have it, make it known that plus size is okay. And like Doroka said, it shouldn't have been a thing in the first place. You know, body type is a body type. Everybody wears clothing differently. I have a black t-shirt on, but everyone sitting here will wear it differently compared to me. And I think that's how things just need to take, body type just needs to move out of the way. Like that shouldn't even be a thing.
And also adding to what you're saying, Zafra, on Instagram, I see a lot of plus size. They're not models, but they have came to be models because they just decided, you know what, I'm just gonna be me, and I'm just gonna. I don't care if I'm not included or anything. I am starting my own movement,
Yeah.
so to speak. So I see a lot of them, and I'm so inspired by them.
Yeah, I have also seen that where people that are not even models, but they've been doing it on their own, and also, yeah, and also what you said about men. I actually, to be honest, never thought about it. The plus size men. I mean, I've seen some of them on the ramp when I went to A5. I mean, not A5. Esther Men's Week earlier this year. But then, that's true. Men like plus size men, that has not been a thing just yet, or even shouldn't be a thing, but like you don't see big men being, I don't know, used as models or promoted their clothes. I've never seen that. I'm just thinking about it now. I didn't think about it.
Exactly, but like that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, there's topics about women empowerment, but if you actually look at it, they're only saying it's okay for women to be plus size, but it's also okay for men. And I think that I just think that it shouldn't be a thing. Like, plus size shouldn't even be a word. Like body type, nothing. None of those words should even be applied to someone. Like, I don't even like saying the word skinny because nobody is skinny to me. Everybody's beautiful in their own way. And I think that shift just needs to happen, and it slowly is happening. And yeah, I think we can see that change is happening in the world. So yeah.
Do you think that the size of your body plays a role in dictating what you should wear?
When I was younger, I used to think that a lot because I used to think of what people thought of me. So I was really like, oh no, they're gonna judge me. But now I just don't care. I wear what I want. I flaunt it the way I want. I wear it the way I want. And if you're gonna judge me, you do you. I am me. You are you, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's very true. I have also seen it where big girls will have to worry about what they have to wear. If especially, I had few friends who worried about, they want to wear crop tops, but then they're afraid of wearing it because people will think it's disgusting. But then I have a classmate who she doesn't give a damn. She would wear her bra and her panty, and she has like a bunch of pictures on Instagram looking like that, and people love it. Some people still criticize it, but I think if we build that confidence, it will just never even be a thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, do you think that if we get to the point where we can actually shift that mindset, like fashion and body types and different like genders, male and female, will be able to celebrate their individuality more through fashion as an expression?
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely they will have to.
Yeah,
Um,
because there was a Sports Illustrated that came out of with a plus size woman on the front page. And then there were people that were hating on it, saying that she's plus size, how can you say she's fit, and things like that. I think that mindset also needs to be taken away, because you can be big like me, or doesn't matter what your size, but I can be fitter than the next person. It's
Yeah.
not about the way you look, it's about the work you put in. And that's what people need to realize. Doesn't mean that if you're plus size that you're not fit. Doesn't mean that if you skinny that you are fit. There's no such thing like that. I just think that that shift of how people see bigger women and men needs to be taken away. I think that needs to be shifted.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
feel like people criticism is it, sometimes it's most of the times people take it like too far,
Yeah.
because there is a way where you can just be like, oh, I like that, but you know what, I think I would like it in this color, or yes, if it's a tight fit, I like it, whatnot. But then now when it comes to now taking the other person's body, then that is not nice. Then it's not nice at all.
I think at times we also don't realize that people might have like health factors, or it's just naturally how they are like built that makes them that, and then people assume automatically because you're bigger, you're unhealthy, you don't exercise, you don't take care of your body. And there's also this culture of like looking at the individual and making these assumptions and feeling like you have the right to state your opinion about how they look and what they wear. Even though you don't know the person, you don't have a right to an opinion if you don't know the person.
No, you don't even have the right to an opinion whether you know the person or not. If it's a discussion between each other, then that's okay. Everyone's allowed to share their opinion, like now, But if I'm doing me, don't come and try and rain on my parade, On Instagram, you know how many DMs I get about me being fat? Like people telling me I'm ugly because I'm fat. It doesn't bother me. But why take the time on hating on somebody when you can spread positivity? And sadly enough, the messages that I get are more from females than from males. So it's like and there's people who preach that they want change in the world with women positivity and all of those things, but then you're coming on my Instagram page and hating on me. Like, I'm glad you're taking the time to hate on me, but and give energy to me, but don't spread something and then behind closed doors you are the person that you're saying people are not supposed to be,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awful.
So the next question for you guys is more of an upbeat question. Do you think that do you think that fashion can change the world?
It can.
It can.
Okay,
You can go, Kiwi, and go.
Yes, it can. But then when it's used to push other agendas, like when you now start being exclusive to other people, or presenting this other image that you are insinuating, even though you are not saying, okay, um, this is the normal that we all want, this is the trend, and this is the only acceptable um, physiques or whatever. If we would change that, and the designers, the whole art industry actually, if it would change that, I feel like people would also be like, oh, okay, we don't need to insinuate, Bana, okay, you are not accepted if you are like this, or only accepted if you are like. So it goes back to when we talked about the big brands, if they would also include, like, be inclusive to other like plus size and other people with skin problems,
Pigmentation problems, yeah.
then that would change. People will be like, so we are all included and we are all happy.
Yeah.
And then people will be doubting themselves. I
Yeah.
can do this, or I want to do this, but then since this is out there in the mainstream, then I can't do it because I have this, I have this, I have this. There's makeups and all of that, and we are just like, okay, so if I don't have makeup, does that mean I am not good enough? Does that mean I cannot be a model or whatever? What if I go into the industry of modeling and then they say they want to put on makeup on me, and then I'm just like, no, I don't want makeup. I don't wear makeup. I don't wear makeup. What if it's that case? And then does that mean they're not gonna accept me?
Okay,
No, that's true. I have to also agree. I mean, there's lots to that point that you just added. I, for example, really prefer not to put on makeup, and I prefer to have my hair like this. But I have seen people not personally came to speak to me, but then people speak to my family, and then it kind of bothers them where people come and say, "Oh, but she's not taking care of herself. She's not looking like a girl." I'm like, so if I'm not looking like a girl, what do I look like? like, what are we talking about here? It's about what I feel, what I'm confident with, and what I'm happy with. Because, for example, when I put on makeup, I get I don't know who that person is. So with that, I cannot go to a modeling agency. And in my culture, we don't necessarily wear short clothes. So I always wanted to be a model, but I never did that because I know that they would tell me I have to wear this. If I'm not comfortable with it, I can't speak up and say I'm not comfortable with this. Then I won't get many opportunities in the industry. But then that's something that I don't know if agencies should consider, that some people are not comfortable with certain things and promote other people in another mirror. I don't know. But then with also the change in the industry, besides the plus size and everything else, I also like sustainability should definitely be the one thing that every designer in the world should go for, because we know for a fact that the industry is the worst industry right now, with pollution and abuse of employees and everything else. So if us young designers who are getting to the industry, we learn from the beginning already that I cannot abuse my employees. I cannot tell them, no, you're going to overwork till night, and I cannot make too many garments that won't sell. I have to watch what my clients want and produce only that amount so that I don't have waste, because lots of big industries have so much waste, you can't believe it. Even if they give away their stuff, even if they go do some charity work, I mean, it's still a lot. The fashion industry works with producing more. Every year you have to produce more and more and more. And then every year also more and more and more goes to landfill. So we have to rethink that completely. And I'm so glad of with this whole coronavirus thing. I mean, it's not good, but it has also brought a lot of positive to the fashion industry, where many designers like Gucci, for example, they've decided they're only going to have 2 shows every year, which is awesome. And then with that, I mean, it's good, but then also it won't be so good for the models. They won't have anything to do. But then, so there's so much to one decision. If you decide we only have few shows, then the models suffer. So we kind of still have to think more and see how things will go. But I'm really excited to see how the industry is going to be in 5 years' time. I think it's going to be quite interesting. Yeah.
Taylor, do you have anything to add?
In my opinion, so even though companies might be doing this whole thing of body positivity, sustainability, or anything like ethical, they don't really do it for the purpose of to actually make a change. They mostly do it for marketing purposes. But even though they're doing that, that can still affect our mindsets. And I feel like the more that they do it, the more to create a move or shift within fashion that would allow fashion to change our mindsets. And I do believe that it can bring some sort of change for the future. Yeah. So as the more they promote positive things such as ethical fashion, sustainable fashion, body positivity, anything like, the more they promote positivity, even if it's not for the right reasons, it will have a ripple effect onto us as the consumer. And we would think more logically when coming to buy into stuff, even though we're just buying into things.
Yeah. That is so true. That's very true.
And can I
Oh, sorry.
something?
Can I? Yeah. Okay.
So also we need to understand that fashion is not, yes, it might represent how we feel and all of that, because some of us dress like that. Like, okay, yes, today I feel some type of way. I feel like I want to look like this. So it's a feeling. It's not. It's an add-on. It's like it's me. It's me. It's an add-on. So that's how we must like treat it, and not be like, oh, okay, no, you look ugly in that and whatnot. That is not nice.
So celebrating the canvas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your word canvas. I'm coming back to you on that.
What I believe is that African fashion, like diversity within Africa, needs to become bigger. I think the United States and everyone overseas had their turn. I think it's our turn now, because we need to start supporting local. I think that supporting locally brings not us up, but like, it's just we're supporting one another, and it comes again with sharing and doing all of those things. And also with makeup, people should realize that you wear it for yourself. You don't wear it for anybody else. So if you don't want to wear makeup, you don't wear makeup. If somebody says you must wear makeup because it makes you look more feminine or you are a girl, no, it doesn't. Makeup was not made for that. Makeup was there for the expression. I do makeup. I love makeup. But when I do makeup, I don't do it for the next person. I do it for myself. I will do crazy looks. I'll do this, but I will never do it in order for other people to say, oh my, it looks nice. I know what I'm doing because I'm doing it for me. And people have no right to say that you need to look more like a girl, because if you know you are a girl, you are a girl. Period. Don't listen to them.
Yeah, sure, girl. Thanks.
Pleasure.
This question I want to ask you guys is, do you believe that traditional fashion should stay consistent with the cultures of the past, or do you feel that it should adapt with the current generation?
Funny you should say that, because I was watching
Shoma Josie.
Shoma Josie, yes, she posted a video.
That's where I got the question from.
She posted on Instagram, and she said in the tradition is not supposed to be like stable, and okay, that's not a good word to use, but anyways, it's not supposed to be static. Yes, it's not supposed to be static. It's supposed to move with generation. What does that generation like? What is the like? What I took from all of that is, from that video, is that we should include or incorporate culture into the trends that we have, like that we currently have, and then we can just incorporate them with those trends, and then it's with the generation, obviously, what we like will not be the same things that our grandparents or great grandparents liked. So obviously it should move.
Yeah, no, I have to agree with that.
Because we change.
Yes, we can't keep the same old stuff. And also, I mean, it all depends on how people take culture. Some people's cultures are quite toxic. Some people's cultures are quite, I don't know, hurtful to them, and forcing people to remain in the olden days while we are in the 21st century, that's not fair, I think. So we should definitely move forward. And I mean, culture is always rich, but we can always enhance it or improve it to adapt what we are doing, and yeah, just be happy and not be stuck in the olden days while we are here in 2020.
And it's a different generation, so
no.
I think our generation is very our generation now is doing what the past generation didn't do. You know, we saying now what the past generation did was wrong. You know, for example, Black Lives Matter and plus size women and gender-based violence. You know, people back then were very quiet about those things, but now we and we're like, no, it's wrong. You know, and now that's why I'm proud to be born in this generation. Like, I'm proud to be here. You know, it's time for change.
Yeah.
And I know that we are trying to stop fast fashion, but also I also feel like there should be more of our cultural clothing and not just be used as attires for certain ceremonies and celebrations. Like maybe wear them every day and not like wait for Heritage Day to be rocking my Xhosa outfit and all of that. It would be nice to just walk around and just be, okay, I see what you're doing. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Walking around like a panda.
Yeah. Not keeping it only for that one day. No, that's true. That's true. But then it should also just be a choice, how you feel without people having to judge you for it. Because just imagine now, if we were all forced to keep on the culture very close to us. Imagine now it's a summer hot day and then you're wearing this puffy 80s dress. Oh, that's gonna be a bit weird. So we have to move forward, but also with a choice of wanting whatever we want, not having people influencing what we're comfortable with.
Exactly. And like I told Lucinda, I believe that our bodies are the canvas and our clothing are the paintings. You know, so the way you dress it, that's how you wear it. And like Doroka said, you have the choice of what you want to wear. You have the choice of how you want to dress yourself, how you want to portray your canvas this day and the next day. Nobody has the right to judge. And I think that judgment and that toxicity and that negativity of people's minds just move, and they just are more open-minded, you know, then none of this would be even a thing, you know.
Taylor?
Honestly, I don't know enough about culture to have an opinion, but in terms of for respectful culture, I wouldn't wear something or feel like it needs to be I wouldn't wear something if I don't understand the reason behind it, so that I'm not for.
I think that with on that what you're saying with cultural appropriation,
Yes.
that's also a serious issue, especially with our
Yes.
South African roots. Sometimes the
Yeah.
value of the culture is taken away from the piece
Yeah.
because of that exact reason. People not actually
Yeah.
doing the research and knowing where the tradition and the culture comes from.
Right.
And there's like stories that are like misinterpreted and lost because of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone want to add anything?
No, that's a big thing, cultural appropriation. Because I've seen few ads where a designer, I can't remember what brand it was. They wanted to portray what a Mexican horse rider is like and what the Mexican woman is. And then they did that. Nice, good story. They had some Mexicans putting in the effort in there and joining in the team. But then they ended up having an American woman portraying a Mexican woman. And they had American
Ooh.
photographers and they had this. And then the only Mexican people that were there, they took some ladies to just be in the background doing whatever
Mm.
while the main lady was an American woman. And that story just changed immediately because Mexicans were like, we're not taking this. And
Yeah.
then that campaign got ruined completely. So people have to understand that. And when you're doing something like that, you bring in some Mexicans in the I don't know in the group and discuss it, and you try to understand what you're doing so that you can tell the story. You can even tell it in your own way, but then with the utmost respect for the culture. Yeah.
Yeah, on
Yeah,
that
I
topic.
agree. I
Yeah,
definitely.
okay.
Sorry, Lucinda. I definitely agree with what she's saying. Um, like for example, like in certain movies, they will have people like play a certain role of culture or religion, but then that person won't necessarily be of that religion or culture. And I just think that that needs to be made more clear that it's kind of disrespectful in a sense, you
Mm.
know. And I know it's a character, and I know that it's like I said, it's a character, but it's just they need to be more respect put into it, and people who plays the character maybe needs to do more research on the religion or on the culture. And because sometimes I don't know if you watched what was that movie's name in that Black Panther, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
um they were doing the accents, Chadwick, the accents of an African, like
Mm.
how they said African men sound. And I don't know why, but I found that it's a little bit offensive because like you're not African, so
Mm.
how is that okay? Doesn't
Yeah.
mean that your I don't mean to sound all harsh, but doesn't mean that your skin color is of what you say African is, that it's okay to do that accent, you
Yeah.
know? I just
Mm.
think that that's disrespectful. And I also think that there was a guy in there who was a Joe Burger, and now he was saying South African sound. Like, it's just that movie for me. Yes, it was a good movie, like the plot and whatever, but I just think that in there, I just think they did not do Africa. No, I just don't agree with that what they did in there. That
Mm.
really.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, do you think that people whom the story is like based on and the origin of something is based on should actually be the ones pushing forward to create these opportunities for themselves because no one else is going to do it for them? And how do you think we should go about doing that? Like, do you think that change is happening? Like, in terms of women, females, South Africans in general?
Like I told you, Lucinda, you are your own person and you're the only person who can make opportunities for yourself. With that being said, it also comes with people willing to share with you, people willing to help you, and whether it's your healthy competition or whether it's your friend, whether it's your family, I just think that the way forward of making those opportunities for yourself is also being headstrong and having a thick skin and being like, okay, you don't like this, okay, why? Let me learn why you don't like what I'm doing and give your opinion on what I'm doing. And I think that also comes with you being open to learning. You know, if you're open to learning, then those opportunities will come for you. If you're somebody and be like, this is mine and you can't change it, then unfortunately people are not gonna want want to look at your things because you're not willing to learn. You know, you have to learn in order to make opportunities.
Yes, true. It's true. Taylor?
Another thing
Oh, sorry, Apiwe?
another thing is art. It is like, okay, you give it to people and then you're just like, okay, they must tell me how they see it, like their perspective, see
Yeah,
from
the
their
interpretation.
their own interpretation. But now when it's misinterpreted, then that becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
And now you can't come back from that. Even when you try to explain, it's just like you can't come back from that, because then they can just be like, but you should have done this and this and this, and then we will see that, okay, this is what you are trying to show, or this is what you are trying to us. But then now, since you put it that way, so which means like the research is like it's important. It's
Yeah.
important.
Definitely.
No, I also have to add on.
Sorry.
Sorry. On what Zafira said, which is true with the movie, because I watched the Long Walk for Nelson Mandela, the movie, and there were pretty much Americans leading the whole movie, and I was like, but we have so many amazing actors in South Africa.
actors.
Were South Africans unable to portray Nelson Mandela's story better than Americans? Well, what's going on here? We had what's his name? Driss something. I can't remember his name now. He was the main lead. Yeah, he was the main lead, and he was Nelson Mandela. And we had this lady and this lady, and we had the other lady who was playing Winnie. And I was like, but there are more ladies in South Africa that would look much closer to Winnie and tell that story with the South African fire and passion. Like, what's going on here? Yeah, so they didn't give Africans that opportunity. It's also with all that being said, even if we put ourselves out there, but we also have to be given the opportunity. Not everybody has the chance to meet this person and that person. But then if they're doing a movie that big, they could get South Africans to play part in there, and that would be worldwide known, and they would have a shot into becoming even bigger and better actors. So opportunities play a big role. Being given the chance to show your talent is very important. So yeah.
Taylor.
I was going to say the same thing that she said. I agree. If you're given the opportunity, you need to push your culture. You need to educate people. You need to basically recruit yourself about it. So the more like for example, I'm very big on color culture. The more I know about my own culture, I can then use my platform, for example, fashion, to educate people based on that. If, for example, I'd probably be upset if a white person was to make money off of what I could have done for myself. And if I get the opportunity, I'm going to try and push it as far as possible. So it's about creating opportunities for yourself and also being true to who you are. And I feel like that's the only way that we will be able to move forward.
I like what you said about creating opportunities for yourself, because I think at times people don't realize that the only way they're going to get things done is if they do it for themselves. Okay, so I want to segue into a different area. So you guys either have been at university or you're still currently studying. What I want to ask you is, what opportunities have you gotten because of university, and how has it shifted your mindset? And then also, do you feel that studying fashion is important for people who want to make it in the industry?
Ooh, wow. I definitely think it is important to study fashion, because there are a lot of brands who are like, oh, I want to do fashion, but then they don't learn past fashion, you know, where the past fashion came and how we came to now. And I think that studying fashion also just opens your mind a little, because when you just, I don't know, I just think that it is a good idea to study fashion. And the opportunities with me studying fashion was just studying fashion alone. When I tell someone, oh, I'm studying fashion at CBUT, they'll be like, oh, okay, you know, I know this person, let me give you their contact. That's how, like, that's how I learned. So I'm just grateful for the opportunity of studying,
I just want to pause quickly. Taylor, it's 10:40 now. If you need to go, you can. Are you gonna go on?
Yeah.
Do you need to go? Do you not?
It's time, can continue.
Okay. Wait, what did I want to say? Oh yes, networking. How
Yes.
vital. Like, I know you're talking about opportunities, connection with people you meet at university. Do you think you'd make the same connections if you didn't attend university?
Nah.
Definitely not. No,
Yeah.
because the crazy thing about university is, especially studying fashion, it teaches you how to approach people. You know, when you're in a class with your classmates, when you wanna say for something, for example, you wanna ask them for a ruler, or whatever the case may be, you learn how to approach. And that's also why I just think studying fashion helped me so much, because when I approach my lecturer also, you have to go in a formal way. You can't just be like, hey, like you need to have a formal greeting, you need to speak, and that's how I learned how to network, which is crazy. And my dad is also really good at networking, so I've grew up around it most of my life.
Yeah.
I personally, I am still struggling with that because I don't know how to approach people. I feel like if I just go to them and talk to them, it's gonna be that thing of, but we don't know you. So I always feel like, okay, those things are what's making me not to be out there and go to events also, go to events and connect with other designers as well. But luckily I have graphic design graphic designer friends and from Surface
Right.
as well. So through them, then I know that, oh, okay, they wanted to work with me and I also want to work with them. So they can be a collaboration like that. But other than that, outside, I don't know how to. I really don't know how to. I'm still struggling with that.
No, I can I just say something on that? For example, I'm very open and I talk to almost everybody, but I was never like that at the beginning. It took me a very long time to actually start to be open and talk to people and network with people. But then at points it does get it was for me I'm very an indoor person. I always stay at home, either go to campus, I'm back, and I'm always at home. But not yeah, it's not I don't like people or whatever, but I just like to be at home. But then when I also go to events and whatever, I want to socialize with people. I want to learn more about people. And that's where most of my opportunities came. And I would advise you, Apiwe, to try, to try and networking with people and going to these events and get out of your comfort zone. I remember I've been to a few events where I get my heart is beating so fast, I'm so nervous, but I want to say something. I start practicing breathing exercise and I'm inhaling and exhaling in public. But I have to because I just feel like if I go somewhere and I didn't ask a question, I didn't learn something, which is useless. I feel useless. I didn't do anything of purpose. So it takes time and it takes energy, but trying to do it slowly with confidence, I think you'll get there. You'll get lots of opportunities, especially in the fashion industry, because lots of people are collaborating a lot. Lots of people are learning more about others and your work. I've been to events where people go like, oh, but what do you do? And then you tell them, oh, that's cool. And then they check out your work and they come buy your products, or they invite you to more events. I met this guy. This damn corona. I met this guy. He was studying, he wanted to start a Vogue company, like Vogue Africa. And I met him at AFI just randomly. We just started talking and then we exchanged numbers. He sent me an invite. I was so excited. It was going to be so glamorous and whatever. Then corona happened. I was just like, oh, why? Why? So it's I would advise you so much to go and meet people. The opportunities are insane. I've had so many good opportunities. I have lots of good opportunities. So just go for it. Don't be afraid. Don't be
I'll
afraid.
try that. I'll try that.
Yeah. Yeah, but just also don't be too hard on yourself. It comes with
Yeah.
personality. So you don't have to go and be bubble and whatever. You just do it as it goes for you, and yeah, as long as you get there.
Like baby steps. Baby steps. Don't push yourself. Like you
Yeah.
will eventually get there. You know, don't think, oh, I need to be like this. Say I want.
No.
Say I want. Say I want to get to the certain point, but
Yeah.
slowly get to that point. You know, you
Yeah.
don't need to change in one day. You know, that's impossible. Well, nothing's impossible, but just don't push yourself
Yeah.
too much. You know.
Yeah, but also but also it's for you. Don't do it to
Yes.
look like the other person, because we're all different. The way you socialize is not the way I will socialize. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
do what makes you comfortable. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you, guys.
Cool, girl.
One-on-one advice here, eh? Straight from the source.
Yeah, we have to share information.
Yes, we have to.
Yeah.
For you guys who don't know, Dorokas has actually started her own t-shirt business.
Wow, that's so cool. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
I want to ask Taylor a question. So Taylor, I know you have an internship at the moment. You're doing an internship. How did you go about getting that internship?
Mm-hmm.
So it comes down to networking. I basically last year was a very fruitful year for me, and within that, certain opportunities were created for me, and I was scouted by one or two retailers, and I ended up going with the trade because it was the best option for me. So it started off where I was interviewed by Media, and then basically it came from networking, and like that retailers started scouting, and our college had like a exhibition or whatever, and that's where I was also scouted, and that's how I got an internship. So yeah.
So are you doing it right now? Are you doing it online? Are you going to the offices? Or...
So I did it for 6 months at the company, and now because of Corona, the company had to cut costs. So I'm busy freelancing for them, but it's like something permanent at the moment. So yeah.
That's cool. Are
Have
you
you-
liking the internship? Is it cool?
It is a very fruitful experience for me. Like it really opened my eyes. Coming from college, the shift from college into an actual working environment. I'm not going to lie, I enjoyed working more than studying.
That's
And
actually awesome to hear.
Yeah.
the move from going back, because now I'm back at college full time. The move back from work to college has been really hard because when you go from making money to not making money, the working environment is like a quick thinking. You constantly have to adapt to what is happening. Any challenges that you like see with the corona, that was a massive step in how I have to adapt to learning. Where with college, it's like set, you study, you do practicals. I'm not going to say there's no real growth, but it's like more of a mental growth where with the working environment, it's mental, it's emotional, it's physical, it's everything intertwined. It was a very good experience for me, and I can't wait to go back to work.
Well, that's nice. And I think lots of people have the privilege of enjoying work. So if you're enjoying it, then you go.
Where do you guys study? I know Apiu is at CPUT with me and Lucinda as well. We do Tela and Rokas. Where do you guys study?
So I'm at College of Fashion Design in Observatory.
Okay. I'm at Elizabeth Galloway in Stellenbosch.
Oh,
Ooh.
fancy.
Guys, I actually want to, on that subject, what is your experience been like at university versus like,
Yeah.
let's look
I
at
want to know
the
that.
business course, like
Ooh,
specifically,
girl. Ooh.
because I know that like Dorokas, what I've heard about your business course is really awesome. I don't
Yeah.
know much about yours, Taylor, but what skills have you gotten from business specifically that's helped you hustle to get to where you are now?
It's been awesome. Studying fashion already in general was just awesome. In fact, I told Lucinda the last time I chatted to her, I didn't know anything about fashion. I knew I wanted to study fashion, but I never did research. What did they do in fashion? I was like, when I get there, I will do it. So I learned a lot of stuff from being studying. And then when it came to business, we have a business course every year where you don't just study business, you practice business, where you have to start a business and you have to try to make a sale. If you can't make a sale, you have to explain why. And you do the whole process of actually running a company, and you have the experience of doing it. And that's where I actually started my own business, because when we did that first project, I was like, well, I can run a business and I want to run a business in the first place. So maybe I can do it and learn how it goes in the business. And that's why I started to learn how it goes. And I realized that it goes quite well. And I mean, it all depends on how we take things, but I took it in an easy, chilled way. So I allowed myself to fail, but I haven't failed yet. So I'm like, cool. So I'm going to keep going forward and learn more stuff, learn how to work with CMT companies, learn how to make business deals and have connections and good um, relationships with your suppliers, that if I'm struggling with something, they come for me and they help me. I've had times where everything was so crazy, I stayed with the guy who prints my t-shirts the whole night. We were printing t-shirts because he made an oopsie, but then we were all there and just working together, and he didn't mind doing that because we had such an awesome relationship. So all of those things just works nicely, and learning about running a business and working for myself. It's really cool, and I'm looking forward to working for myself when I'm done studying next year. With that, yeah, I just want to intern and then go work. I don't want to go work for another company. So it's really
Amen.
cool.
Want to do your own thing.
Yes, definitely. I want to go intern for Laduma in Johannesburg next year.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Gorgeous.
I'm like, that guy. I met him earlier this year. I was like, dude, you are the one. I want to go work
Yeah.
for you.
Yes, yes, he's
Yeah.
the one. He's the
Yes.
one. He's
Yeah.
the chosen one.
Yeah, and he's like so awesome. He doesn't even have, it's not like, those designers. People think that when you're a designer, you're all like, yes, darling,
La-di-da.
and weird,
Yeah.
and no, he's like chilled and he was making jokes. And I was like, but that's how it should be. We're human beings, we're not weird. Yeah.
Can they just all be like that? And
Yeah,
and then be happy.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I agree with what Doroka said. With people immediately put like being dramatic and over this and over, like they very with fashion. I think when they think you're fashion, you need to act a certain way and think like, no, just act how you want.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to know also, how do you guys do business at your campuses?
It was the same processes though. Like we have majority of our subjects are business subjects.
Hmm?
When it comes to actual business studies, we basically did like reports, learned the side of how to develop a business, how to measure whether it was successful, networking, all those things. It's the same process as what they do. We also had to start the business, see where we fall short, and yeah.
Cool.
And then our campus.
Yeah.
I,
Also,
I,
yeah.
yeah, there's
So-
changes that needs to be done
Yeah.
in our curriculum, because there's a lot of things that we should be doing and not doing. And we have like the patterns and whatnot. But then other than that, we don't have anything that's like that is like a step to the industry or anything like that. We don't have that.
Like the practical experience and practical implementation that you guys have, even in graphic design. I'm in graphic design. We also, more of our course is more theory based. So we're not actually getting the practical experience that you guys are getting.
And
What I noticed about our campus is they don't teach you how to price a garment. They teach you how to price, you know, when you with garments you have to take note of the labor, your electricity, your fabric, all of those things. So what I noticed with business at our campus, they don't teach you how to price a garment. They will teach. It's more of how you price a muffin. You know, your ingredient stays the same. Whereas with fashion, with a garment, everything changes. You know, it's never the same. So I noticed that. But it's just with our course, I think there's just a lot of changes that need to be made. I think the way they approach certain things also, what they talk about, like when we are now, I'm fourth year, so I'm doing my degree, so we're learning about SWOT, your strengths, your weaknesses and things, but those type of things we should have learned in first year. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
You know,
Sure.
I just think that our approach with business, it's very lopsided. Like it's very like, okay, it's business, you're supposed to know it.
More
But you don't
theory-based.
know business, you need to learn business, you know. Fortunately, I come from a home where my sister, she has her own business, my dad also has his own business, so I learn from them, you know, whereas the next person in my class, they struggle with it, you know, and I help them where I can. And I just think that CBUT just needs to scrap that curriculum and they need to come up with a new one. Like, I just think they need to make a new one.
because I don't know how to price. When
Guys,
someone asks me a price, I sweat. Like I literally sweat because I
in
don't know.
okay, sorry, Apiwe, I don't want to cut you off. Dorogas, can you quickly would you be open to actually speaking about how you go about pricing your garment?
Well, well, for me, I just for now, because I know that I'm a small brand and my target market is the younger market. I can't charge them extravaganza. I have to think of that first, who my target market is, and then I think how much I buy my fabric for. So, because I always buy in bulk, so I obviously get a big discount. And then, so I work with my fabric, I work with thread, even though I have a bunch of it, but then every time I use it, it counts in there. And then I count in my finishes, everything that I do, if I buy ribbing, if I buy this, and then so all the costs that come, just like you said, the pricing of the muffin, exactly like that. But then you must I add in my time, I add in electricity, and then I come up with the price. But then whatever that price is, I still want to make it I still have to remember who my target market is. Even so, but then I shouldn't be working at a loss though. I shouldn't be working at a loss.
Yeah.
So for every t-shirt that I sold with my own designs, I sell them for 150, but then my expenses were about 70 rand plus minus. But then because a t-shirt, a good quality t-shirt, costs at this price, I make it that price, 150. And then I also look at what other brands are doing. Like I went in stores like Jet, Mr. Price, and see what they're doing, how much they're selling the products for. And I also just ask like the counters and what sells in the building, what are people liking right now. And I do my research based on that, and also based on what my customer wants, and then I put in designs and price points. Yeah. So I think you have to remember who you're selling to. You can't make a garment for like 500 rand and then you're selling to a schoolboy. Then he won't buy it. Yeah. You have to. Everything has to count. Yeah.
Okay, we need to finish up now because we're hitting the hour. Taylor, do you have anything to add on that based on your experience from your business course?
No, it's the same process. You work out your costings, add in your markup, take into consideration your target market, same process. Okay. It even works like that in a retail environment.
So I'm right. I thought I was doing my own stuff.
Okay, guys, we get to do this again, but thank you so much for
Yeah.
joining. Enjoy. That's it. Thanks so much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
It was nice to meet you, ladies. Bye.
Nice to meet you too. Bye.
Bye.